Hey everyone, it is Dani. A pleasant morning to you. I hope that you're doing really great. And so we will be taking a look at what is going on across the North Atlantic. So there's a lot of heavy rainfall across parts of the Lesser Antilles, mostly the Leeward Islands and other spots as well. And then there's that approaching tropical wave, which will bring along with it that flood threat. And so before I go into details, please do subscribe if you haven't yet done so and tap the bell so that you never miss an important video. Alright, so as we return to this satellite imagery, there we can see those blobs out there in association with the tropical waves. So all that activity is getting closer and closer to the Caribbean. It should arrive as we head into tomorrow, and then all this rainfall activity is going to be spreading across eastern islands. And so as a result, there is going to be that flooders. And notice that rainfall activity across some islands. So let's zoom into the area here, and we can see all this shower and thunderstorm activity across mostly the Leeward Islands. So this would include areas such as Antigua, Barbuda, going to Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, even for Saba, St. Eustatius, St. Bartholomew, and Anguilla. Those areas are or have experienced some rainfall activity between last night and this morning, and a lot of thunderstorms are still popping up as we head to Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. We're not seeing where there is much this morning, and of course going from Dominica southward, there isn't much either. A bit of activity near Trinidad, Tobago, and Barbados. Not much going on, but of course as we head through today, it is likely that there is going to be a lot more activity across more areas in the Lesser Antilles, and we will be looking at the rainfall maps very shortly. So the ABC Islands remain in the clear. And so let us head to the rest of the basin. So zooming out, and here we can see that there is all that activity also in the vicinity of the Dominican Republic. Some of it is inland, but the majority of it remains offshore, going into the vicinity of the Southwest Caribbean. There is that big blob that is near Panama. So lots of heavy rainfall for Panama, and things get less intense heading into the rest of the Central American territories with some isolated thunderstorms across some spots. Similar story for Grand Cayman. We see some thunderstorms in the vicinity, but not much going on for Cuba, going to Jamaica, Haiti, and things get even clearer as we head into the vicinity of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands. And so now going on to the rainfall total maps. And so we're starting out with the GFS, and here we can see some of these areas highlighted in these orange and red shades. So a lot of heavy rainfall expected for parts of the Caribbean islands, going to Hispaniola, even in the vicinity of Puerto Rico, and also for the Western Caribbean near Costa Rica, going to Panama as well. So tropical wave is in the area, which is helping to enhance all of that activity across Northern and South America. There is some substantial rainfall is expected, mostly as a result of that daytime heating, resulting in those thunderstorms, and then a tropical wave which is moving into the Caribbean, and it is already inducing some rainfall across some areas as we saw earlier. And as I mentioned in my previous update, where we have a lot of heavy rainfall, the soil becomes saturated, and with that big wave which is approaching, that's expected to probably cause some flooding even, that is going to make it more enhanced once that soil is saturated, because that the water cannot infiltrate, so it piles up on the surface and inundates different areas. Some substantial rainfall also likely in some spots across Jamaica, some thunderstorms popping up this afternoon, going to parts of the Cayman Islands, possibly for Cuba and parts of Florida. The Euro model is kind of in agreement and is expecting a bit more rainfall for some spots. Where we see more of these shades of yellows, oranges, those indicate those higher rainfall totals. We're really seeing that for parts of the Eastern and Northern Caribbean, parts of the Dominican Republic. As we saw, there is some activity already there contributing to that rainfall total. Heading to Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and most of the Lesser Antilles. Things that might not be as rainy go into Grenada, but for most areas, there is likely to be some heavy rainfall at some point as we head through today. Substantial rainfall also expected across Northern South America, might be heavy at times. ABC Islands in the clear again, you're also expecting that. So rainfall is not expected there through today. Going to the Southwest Caribbean, parts of Central America, there you see some of those higher totals as well. So likely some more heavy rainfall within the area. Things getting more isolated heading further up north. And then some activity possible across Jamaica, heading to the Cayman Islands, which there is already some activity near Grand Cayman. and for Cuba as well. And so guys, stay tuned for my update video this evening where I will delve into the possibility of seeing something developing maybe in the latter part of next week, because many models, I believe all, have hinted in the last 24 hours that we could see something develop. Some are a bit more consistent than others, so we will be looking at all of that later. And we'll also be looking at the update in regards to the tropical waves out there. And that is pretty much it for this video, and so I hope you found it to be quite informative. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will respond once I get the chance, and as always, remember to be weatherwise.